Okay, I've tried to film this like 3 times. It keeps unbuckling. The thing keeps, I have like a little stand or whatever. The thing keeps clicking out of place. We're just gonna get into it. First, I gotta plug a couple things. I have a Twitter, my anime list, my anime lists are in the description as well. If you want me to review any manga, manhwa, or comic, let me know and give me a super thanks. And if you give me money, the lowest you have to give me is like $2. If you give me money, I will review it. It'll take a while. It'll take more and less than a month. It'll take a lot of time, but I will get to it eventually and I'll try my best. I have a lot of things on my waiting list though. Just letting you guys know. Yeah, sorry, I just have to plug a lot of things before I get into it. Let me just get started right into it. And it kind of sucks that this is the first one, especially because someone paid me to do it. But Eden Zero is last in my list. If you don't know, when I do reading logs, the first thing I talk about is the worst. The best thing I talk about, or the last thing I talk about is the best. Eden Zero, it's not even that bad. It low-key is actually very, very good. It's actually really, really good. I just didn't read bad things this month. I gotta be honest, I barely read this month. I was doing this. I was literally just moving for an entire month. But yeah, I did not read very much this month, and this happened to just be the worst thing, though. I read some incredible stuff. Eden Zero, what makes it good, what makes it bad? Let me just say, the art in this manga is incredible. Like, there are a lot of panels, like very, very big ones, where they'll enter a certain city or a different planet or some other setting, and they'll just show the architecture of it, and it looks incredible. The world building is really, really good. Every single time we enter somewhere new, it looks and feels like somewhere new. There are different people, different clothing, different fashion. There's different technology. Like, just look at this, like, cover art, and don't tell me this looks incredible. Like, look at all the buildings, intricately, like, designed. It kind of looks like, kind of reminds me of One Piece, but also Attack on Titan, where you get these, like, wide scoping shots, and they just look really, really good. Like, the art is just so incredible the way it looks. Actually, I'll say great things before I say negative things, because it's very mix and match for me. Another great thing about Eden Zero is just its simplicity. It's really easy to get into. I can definitely see myself being interested in these characters. Hold on, it's falling out again. It's literally falling out again. Bro, it doesn't click in, bro. I gotta tape it, bro. I actually might have to tape it. I might have to tape it in. Another great thing about Eden Zero is just its simplicity and how easy it is to get into. I've read somewhere, or on Right Stuff, it's like 30 volumes or something. I could see myself, if we're going from place to place to place, finding new people, meeting new friends, I could see myself getting interested in this manga and actually enjoying it thoroughly. It's not a kind of manga where it's like, this is the main mission to do. Once this mission is solved, let me explain this. When there's a manga that's very mission-centric, where it's, we need to finish this mission, it kind of loses me out of it when we go on side quests. Because how does this relate to the mission? You know what I mean? So I get pretty bored. But since there's no main mission to go through, and because the plot is so simplistic, but also the dream is so vague and can be interpreted in many different ways, I'm not going to lose interest in when we take a little bit of a detour. Actually, I might gain interest if we're just doing the exact same thing over and over again. It's a difference between repetitivity. I can't say words today. I tried today. Repetition, that's what I'm looking for. It's different from that. And I think it does it really, really well. Now, time for the negatives. And I hate to say it, but the writing is just pretty corny sometimes. Sorry, I'm fixing shit. The writing is just very, very corny sometimes. Like, the first arc is when we meet our 2 main characters. And it's just power of friendship. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a deeper meaning there. It doesn't feel like there's anything to look into. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it seems like it's relying on that very, very heavily. Also, let me talk about another positive. The power system. The power this guy has is incredible. He has, like, these wrist powers. They're so cool. Like, I just love reading it, and I just love seeing it move. And it's so flowy. Like, the art is incredible. I just had to get that off my chest because I just remembered it. But yeah, the themes going on here just aren't very interesting, and it seems like it's relying heavily on that. Like, you can take a manga like a One Punch Man. It's not very theme centric. There are themes and there's lessons to learn, obviously, but the centric is the action, the fight scenes, the entertainment behind it, the goofiness, the comedy. That's what pulls you in. That's what's good. And it seems like it's relying a lot on themes, and the themes just aren't very interesting. They're not like there's not really much to talk about with Eden Zero. It's it's like the double-edged sword of simplicity, as well as the fan service in this is just really, really in your face. I'm fine with fan service most of the time, especially when it comes to manga. When it comes to anime, it's a bit more difficult to ignore. But when it comes to manga, it's really easy to just kind of gloss over panels. But what I hate is when they put fan service in panels that are really important to the story. Like, there's a certain panel that I just saw when I was looking through this, and the fan service just makes it worse. It, like, lessens the impact of the emotion. Even though there's not that much emotion placed within this volume, it just dampens it, and it really doesn't help. All right, next, oh my god, I almost knocked over the rest of my manga. I'm talking a lot about these manga just because we don't got much to talk about. That's why I'm going so in depth with this. In other manga logs, you'll see me just go to a volume. This was pretty good. I liked the characters, and it was enjoyable. Down. GOI Cuda. GOI Cuda is very, very good. It kind of has the same problems as Eden Zero, and it comes with just a first volume and trying to hook you in. I don't care about like any of the characters. The emotion is just not there. They introduce us to the main character and his like best friend, or basically his father figure, and I just didn't really care that much. But let me say, the art, the world, the almost power system is so good. Though I hate the idea of, I don't hate it, I just think the idea of loving an item and it has emotion is just stupid. I just don't like that. I just think it's dumb. And I know it's rich coming from a guy whose third favorite manga is about people who eat fruit and get powers. But it just seems dumb to me, okay? It just seems dumb. But before I hate on this manga too much, I will say the art is so incredible. The style is so good. There's so much charisma in this manga. There's so much swagger in it. Like, you just see a character and he just looks so cool. He has that aura. It's a manga with aura, if I'm being honest. And I own volume 3. I don't own volume 2. I would have read volume 2. I just don't own it. I looked at volume 3. It just gets even better. Some of the action, some of the art, it's so thick. The lines are so thick and dry and just so rough. You can't help but get into that mood and that tone of what this manga is trying to present. It's so effective. As well, the character designs and the power system is really, really cool. I don't like the idea of it, but the execution of it, I think, is done very, very well. And there's just certain moments in this manga that just get you so hyped so early on, and it's really hard to do that. Like a One Piece, you're not getting hyped when Luffy's fighting Axe and Morgan. You're getting hyped when he's fighting Crocodile. 150 chapters in. Even that's something like One Piece, which I think is incredible, like basically perfect, struggles with. And I think GOI Cuda and other manga similar, that I'm going to talk about later, get that on lock. All right, next we got a lot of volumes, a lot of similar volumes. And these volumes are Bleach, volumes 22 to 29. Honestly, I'm going to get volume 2. I was a bit disappointed with this. Maybe not disappointed is the right word, because I didn't really expect a lot. But coming after Soul Society was just so incredible. One of the best shonen arcs I've ever read. There was just so many things going for it, so much emotion, so much tension. Like, things were building up so well. The pacing was perfect. Like, it was so incredible. I just loved it so much. And just, like, it's not disappointing because I knew it would do worse. Just for the fact that everyone's told me it gets worse, but also you can't really do better than what Soul Society was doing. Like, the only manga that has done better every single arc is probably, like, Haikyuu and One Piece. Those are the only two manga that I think have done better every arc, that I think get better every arc. Like, One Piece definitely has its dips and, and highs and lows, but, like, overall, One Piece arcs get better with time. Like, I thought Alabasta was the best, and then Skypiea came along. I thought Skypiea was the best, then Water 7 came along. I thought Water 7 was the best, then Marineford came along. And I'm hearing Wano was the best, and then Egghead came along. You know what I mean? Like, it just keeps getting better and better and better and better. And that's what I didn't think Bleach was going to do. And hadn't. That's almost impossible to do, especially when you start off with something so good as Soul Society. So when I read this arc, I thought it was kind of boring, and it kind of feels like the author is kind of just repeating what he's already done. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing inherently wrong with repeating stuff as long as enough things are changed for it to be exciting and fresh. But it just doesn't come off like that. Sorry, this camera's really fucking with me. It just doesn't come off like that. A lot of characters here, I just feel like don't have a lot of things to do now as their characters are kind of complete. Like, Yuzu kind of goes through the exact same character arc, at least for now, of what I'm reading right now. I'm on volume 31, or 32. I'm on volume 32. Yuzu kind of has the same character arc. Same as Chad. Chad kind of has a similar character arc. There's a lot of characters that I definitely think their character arcs are advancing in a more natural way. Like Orihime, I absolutely love. I love her way more. I love how she's feeling this emotion of being left behind, and that's only exacerbated by her getting, you know, kidnapped and being helpless, and her having to help the bad guys. So she's in this mental battle right now, is do I help the bad guys and save my own life, or it could cost the lives of my friends? So she's literally in the balance of, what do I cost my own life? Do I cost my friend's life? Like, what do I do? With that feeling of she's being left behind, which I think is incredible. There's other characters like Rukia. Rukia just got, I mean, it's not in these volumes, but Rukia got an amazing arc, an amazing continuation from her execution, how she feels about that, and like how she feels about her own life moving forward, I think was incredible. There are a lot of moments in here, and as well, should I say, the villains are very, very threatening. I think they're incredible, especially this guy. I think he, like, Bleach doesn't really do these, they kind of do, like with Reiji in the beginning of the manga. Not really the beginning, like volume 15, 16. But Bleach really does like these Joker-esque villains where they're not redeemable in any way. They're not like broken. They're kind of just pure evil, but incredibly threatening. I say there's 3 types of villains. In my opinion, there are 3 types of villain. 1, the broken, misunderstood villain. The one that's pure evil, that is just super, super intimidating and just feel unstoppable. And the third one is the one that's pure evil, but incredibly entertaining. And I think Bleach mostly does their villains, second one, that's a middle finger. The second one. I think they usually do their villains just incredibly threatening, and they does it incredibly well. Like, even though it's incredibly cliche, when a character does a giant slash move, that's their ultimate move, and someone just stops it with a finger or something, or they don't even move, or they're not even phased, it's just really, really cool. I just think those villains are really entertaining. Not really entertaining, but just, they're just, their presence, their aura, if you will, just instructs fear in the characters and the reader. I think it's done really, really well. There are a lot of other things with Bleach that they do incredible that was there in Soul Society. First off, this is something I don't think gets touched upon enough, but the swagger and just the charisma of Bleach is so incredible. Like, it just feels like a cool manga. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog, the manga. It just feels cool. Like, the characters, they have these sick-ass robes. It's super swaggy. There's so much drip in these outfits. Even the manga covers, sometimes the author, Tite Kubo, I believe his name is. Yeah, Tite Kubo, or Tite Kubo. I have no clue. Makes these really, really nice outfits on the manga covers, and they look so cool. Every character has a badass line that they say. Like, no wonder Blue Lock was inspired by this manga. Or, like, the author loves Blue Lock. Or the author loves Bleach. Because, like, I get insane similarity between these two. And that's good, because Blue Lock's one of my favorite manga. Alright. I'm going to move these to the side. Excuse me. Next, I have Shoha Shoten, volumes 4 and 5. Actually, if you want to know, I did a live reading of these 2 volumes on my Twitter. So what I do is I just make a thread of, I read it, and then when something big happens or something I feel, or I have a thought, I put it in like the thread, and I just put it lower and lower and lower. So it's a really, really long thread of usually 2 or 3 volumes. I did that with these 2 volumes, and it's incredible. I definitely know these are going to be one of my favorite series of all time. Maybe not of all time, but this will definitely be like one of my new favorites going forward. Something I buy every single volume, every single time it comes out. It is just so fun, so incredible. No character is portrayed as a super villainous person. Everybody seems very realistic. Everyone is fun to read about. There's never a character I feel bored about. The character designs are incredible. It's very character focused, obviously. It's a comedy manga. The backstories are very, very good. The motivations are incredible. It just does like a lot of things right. And there's nothing really to complain about. If anything, the only problem, and I mean this, the only problem I had, and it's not even like the fault of a manga, is that it's Japanese. Like, a lot of these jokes are probably hilarious in Japanese, but very, very bad in English. And sometimes I'll read a joke that's supposed to be incredibly funny, and it's okay. It's not funny at all. I don't get it at all. And maybe I'm just bad at jokes, but I just don't get it at all. I don't think it's funny. And that's definitely like a cultural difference thing. It just really does not help. But yeah, this is very, very good, especially Volume 4. Volume 4 stepped up its game, gave one of the main characters a backstory, was incredible, did an incredible payoff to that backstory in one volume. I didn't even know that could be done. Made me cry, shed a couple tears, not gonna lie. It was just so, so good. I really like Showa Shoten. And thinking of things that were inspired by Bleach, not Showa Shoten, Blue Lock. I read Blue Lock Volume 14. Blue Lock's always good. It's the start of the U20 match. Low-key, I've kind of felt a bit... I know this is very, very high. It's top 3, actually. We're getting to 2 more volumes. I felt a little bit underwhelmed with the start of the U20 match. I know it's because okay, actually, I'm not going to say anything because I know the anime is coming out. So I'm not going to spoil anything about this. But I felt a little bit underwhelmed. And I thought more crazy character moments would happen. No, you know, one of the main characters got a goal. It kind of feels like the author, and this isn't a problem. This is not a problem. It kind of feels like when the author doesn't have a character arc to finish with a character at a certain moment, he'll just give them a big moment that doesn't finish off a character arc. It's just a big moment to let us know he's still in this game. You know, like, let's say the author doesn't have an arc for Baro or whatever, right? He'll still give Baro a big moment. He just won't finish off that character arc. So it reminds us he's still in the game, and it doesn't look like he's forgetting characters, which I really, really like. I actually really like that aspect. Yeah, this just seems like a setup volume. I think the second half, it finished the first half of the U20. I think the second half is going to be a lot better. What do I mean I think? I've already read this, but I'm just giving my thoughts on a reread. I haven't read the U20 in a while, but yeah. I mean, I've already read like the entire manga online, basically. I'm in the NEL, if you guys know what that is. Also, can I say, I think Blue Lock Season 2 looks good. Okay, the second episode just came out. Not just came out. It came out a little bit ago. I think it looks good. Now, I will preface, while there are an incredible amount of still frames, I'm a manga reader. All I look at are still frames, and I see motion in those still frames. So my brain is probably freaking automatically assessing the movement in those still, like my brain's probably incredibly used to it. That's probably why, you know, I'm okay with how the anime looks. Now, let me just say, the direction of the anime, like how it's directed, is incredible. I think the pacing's incredible. It's super fast, super clean. It feels just like the manga. I think, excuse me, I think that the direction is incredible. I love the way that they're expressing auras and how it's reflecting off other people. Before, it just kind of looked like a thing of gas just piling around the character, but now it actually feels like a tangible thing that is affecting the room and affecting the pitch. I really love that. I love the new soundtracks. They're incredible. The voice acting is always incredible. Shido got a great moment. I do think they put on that still frame a little bit too long. There's a still frame. They put on it a bit too long. They should have cut it off after like a second. I think it looked incredible though. That's just me though. I think I'm definitely also biased because it's Blue Lock. It's top 10 manga for me. Like, you know, like, I'm definitely biased. All right, next I got a manga that I did not expect to be this good. I legitimately did not expect to be this good. And that's Fool Knight. I read volume 1 and I was so, like, this is one of the best first volumes I've ever read. Like, just to let you guys know, it's one of the best. But I was just so bewildered of how good this was. Like it is so impressively good at getting me to be attached to these characters and attached to this story. And the world is incredible. I love the world. It's so bleak, but it's also just so interesting. It's basically about like this world where there's no sunlight, so they kind of have to DIY trees. So what they do is they plant seeds into people with terminal illnesses like cancer, and they plant seeds in them and they turn them into trees. And our main character here has no money, no friends, nothing. His mom is going insane. It's incredibly sad. So he fakes up a fake illness and he's trying to kill himself. He's trying to just turn into a seed, get the money, because you're given a bunch of money after you do it. He's trying to get the money and just live his life, whatever. And he gets the money stolen from him, but he actually gets the power to talk to plants. So, like, he can, like, talk to the plants that were humans. He can talk to them. Or he can't talk to them, but he can, like, hear what they're feeling, kind of. Right? And it's so good because, one, there's this time limit already established in the story. This manga can't go on forever. This guy only has 2 years. And it's actually shown really, really well because there's like the scene, he's outside, he's eating lunch, he's not doing anything. And he feels a little prick in his stomach and he pulls up his shirt and there's a little leaf there. There's a little like, little flower there. And it's so scary because it feels like he's getting eaten up from the inside, but there's like, it's almost automatic. It's like, there's nothing you can do about it. And it's creepy, it's eerie like that, but it's also incredible too because he meets these different people. Now, he met one person, keep in mind, this could fall off from here, but he meets this woman who had this abusive relationship with her father, and she doesn't know how to handle it because he died from, turning himself to the tree. So he can help mend that relationship together through talking with humans and talking with the father that's a tree. He can actually mend that relationship together. And it's so brilliant the way the author does that. And it's so brilliant the way it's paneled too, because it literally shows him connecting the two together. And there's so much symbolism behind these plants and this new form of life that the author or the characters are given to each other. And it's so incredible. I can't put it into words how much this manga affected me emotionally. It's insane what a manga can do in one volume. I felt so connected to this character. I felt so much grief when bad things happened to him, and I felt so much happiness when good things happened to him. And keep in mind, not a lot of good things happened to him. If anything, no good things happened to him. But I just can't explain how well the author got me to connect to this character and got me to connect to this world, this plot, this idea, these emotions, this characterization. I don't know how he did it. Or she, I don't discriminate. All right. Finally, we're down to our last volume. I'm going to talk about this quick. It's Kiji. It's Kiji Volume 5. This is always going to be first. This is one of my favorite series that I'm reading right now. If only they could print it fucking quicker. Yeah, this is incredible. One of the smartest manga I've read, if not the smartest manga I read. I hate saying that. I hate saying something's like a smart manga because I feel like all manga are smart. Like, you have to be pretty smart to create a story, or create plot, characters, and draw, like, actual art and do that in a span of, like, a week. Like, you have to be pretty smart to do that. But, like, I literally have to say this author just has higher IQ than 99% of people. Like, has this guy been thinking about, there's, like, one game. By the way, the game's not even over. You see how thick this volume is? One game took place during this volume, and it's not even over. There's one last, like, round in the game, and we don't even get to see it. It's the biggest fucking cliffhanger of all time. I'm so pissed. And Denpa won't release manga this series for some reason, like, consistently. I know it's like 3 people working there. I know. I've heard there's literally like 6 people working there. I will be your 7th. Okay, just hire me. All right, just hire me, and I will go work for you. Why is Kiji Gambling Apocalypse good? Well, let me tell you. One, the characters are incredibly relatable. I relate to a lot of these characters. I relate to their struggles, their fears, their anxiety. It really speaks to me. Like, the art itself, when people are just talking, is not good whatsoever. But it does a lot of these really interesting lines and does a lot of these interesting shading that really makes you feel the same anxiety, fear, and just adrenaline that the other characters are feeling. I think it's incredible. I don't think it ever hits the highs that the rock, paper, scissors game did, but I don't think it needs to, low-key. Like, it definitely does hit the highs. The rock, paper, scissors game does, but it's just on such a different spectrum. I don't even know how to talk about this game, and I don't even want to spoil it either. I don't want to spoil the ending. Like, the ending is so creative, so smart, so incredible. I literally had to put down the volume and start shadow boxing. I'm a boxer, by the way. I had to start shadow boxing in my room because of how fucking hyped this shit was at the end. I kid you not. It was incredible. That's going to be the end of the video. If you'd like to subscribe, like the video, comment down below. I answer to every single one of my comments, and if I don't, I saw it. I see your comment. Every single time, I see every single comment. If you want to ask me something, go ahead and ask. I will answer to the best of my ability. Don't ask me, for my credit card number. I'm not going to give you that. Also, if you made it to the end of the video, put the... I don't know if there's a headphone emoji. Put a headphone emoji. Yeah, put a headphone emoji. Okay, bye.